The drama surrounding Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn has grown into one of the most gripping sagas in modern British boxing, capturing the raw emotion, the simmering rivalry, and the bruised pride of two fighters who refuse to let their family legacies fade quietly. When the spotlight hits the ring and the crowd begins to roar, all the noise, predictions, and trash talk fade into a single truth. Every punch thrown, every step backward, and every moment of hesitation becomes part of a narrative that the world has been waiting years to witness. And tonight, the electricity around these two fighters feels less like entertainment and more like a generational reckoning. The announcer's voice echoes through the arena as he introduces the former British IBO and WBA champion, a man built on discipline, belief, and an iron-willed determination to command respect every time he steps into the ring. Chris Eubank Jr. breathes in the moment, sensing both the weight and the opportunity. The left hand shoots out like lightning, the right hand follows with brutal precision, and for a brief second, you can feel that familiar intensity that has defined him from day one. For Eubank, fighting again on British soil is not just a homecoming. It is a statement. Yet no rivalry burns without emotion, and even Eubank acknowledges that beneath the pride and competitive venom, there is something deeper. When asked if there was now respect between him and Conor Benn, he hesitates with the stubborn honesty only fighters possess. He wishes Benn well, almost casually mentioning that his opponent had been sent to the hospital with a broken jaw, a consequence of a night where, in his words, Benn simply got beaten up. Observers noted a ruthless streak in the ring, a sense that Eubank could have ended the fight at any moment but chose to prolong the punishment, using the jab until it became a weapon in itself. Meanwhile, Benn's camp radiates emotion and confidence. Eddie Hearn can barely contain his pride, insisting that what the world witnessed was not just a fight but the birth of a new star. He calls Benn the people's champion, a fighter with a clean heart, a relentless motor, and the kind of resilience that transforms adversity into fuel. For everything Benn has endured, from criticism to controversy, this felt like redemption. Even former adversaries like Chris Eubank Sr. praise the toughness and spirit of both men, acknowledging the competitiveness and the edge that never faded throughout the match. Yet the rivalry remains sharp as steel. When Benn is asked who won the fight, the tension rises instantly. Eubank responds with icy confidence, claiming that while Benn may believe he won on the scorecards, he was still the one hospitalized. He speaks with the kind of psychological warfare the Eubank family has mastered, insisting that taking a man's soul is the true definition of victory. Benn counters by reminding him that they both wound up in the hospital, though for entirely different reasons. The conversations twist into accusations about hydration, weight, and conditioning, each man trying to reclaim the mental high ground before the next chapter of their rivalry unfolds. Experts and legends of the sport continue to weigh in on the matchup, amplifying the anticipation. Roy Jones Jr., who previously trained Eubank, acknowledges his former fighter's size, strength, and improved technical discipline. He points out that Chris is naturally bigger and more experienced, but he never dismisses Benn's ability to end a fight with a single punch. The reminder of how Liam Smith shocked Eubank in 2023 adds even more uncertainty to the mix. That knockout served as proof that even the strongest foundations can crack under the right punch at the right moment. There are also theatrics and mind games, elements deeply woven into this rivalry. The infamous moment when Eubank smashed an egg into Benn's face during the press conference still lingers in the public memory. It was a symbolic jab at Benn's failed drug test explanation years earlier, delivered with a smirk and calculated timing. It was designed to irritate, distract, and establish dominance before either man threw a punch. Many believe moments like that give Eubank a psychological edge, the same kind of advantage that once rattled opponents like George Groves during his early career. But boxing is never decided by theatrics alone. Analysts break down their resumes, their power, their conditioning, and their achievements. Some call Eubank the heavy favorite due to the level of competition he has faced throughout his career. Names like Groves, DeGale, and Abraham tell the story of a man who has climbed through weight classes and endured wars with legitimate world champions. In contrast, Benn's record, while impressive, hasn't yet included names of the same stature. Amir Khan, reflecting on the size and experience gap, leans toward Eubank as well, though he leaves the door open for the explosive unpredictability Benn brings into every fight. Promoters add fuel to the fire. Ben Shalom boldly predicts a stoppage victory for Eubank in the middle rounds, describing the upcoming fight as a pure firefight between two men with too much ego to step back. He even commits to a £1 million wager, insisting that this will be mayhem from round one. Questions swirl about whether such a bet is even legal, but Shalom seems unconcerned. His confidence in Eubank is unwavering. Yet for all the talk, all the predictions, and all the confidence, the fight ultimately comes down to discipline, strategy, and conditioning. Benn's greatest hope lies in Eubank's struggle with weight restrictions. If the bigger man enters the ring drained, sluggish, or compromised, Benn could capitalize with early aggression and body shots on the inside. But if Eubank arrives healthy, strong, and sharp, many believe the size gap will be too significant for Benn to overcome. The truth is that both men are fighting for more than a win. This is legacy. This is pride. This is the collision of two names embedded in British boxing history. The sons of warriors, stepping into a ring heavy with expectation, risk, and generational tension. No matter who emerges victorious, their rivalry will be remembered as one of the most dramatic chapters in modern British boxing. And now that you've relived every twist, every prediction, and every ounce of intensity surrounding this clash, it's your turn to weigh in. Do you believe the size and experience of Chris Eubank Jr. will dominate the night, or will Conor Benn's explosiveness and heart rewrite the story entirely? What moment stood out to you the most? Share your thoughts below, join the discussion, and let your voice be part of this rivalry's evolving history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of boxing, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next big story.